Welcome back to 2012. Black Ops 2's out. Parents let you stay home, or maybe it's the weekend after launch and you're excited. It's time to grind and work on getting to Prestige Master, or maybe even your diamond camos. Before we get into the video, I want to give a shout out to Loaded Buggy. Him and Wylearn have very quickly become some of my favorite YouTubers by bringing back a style of video I honestly thought was long gone, and the style that I grew up on to an extent. I borrowed this video idea from Loaded Buggy's series. I'll link him down in the description below. He talks mostly about his experience with the games he grew up playing, but his video on COD 4 is what inspired me to do this video, and possibly even a series talking about my experiences with Call of Duty over the years, diving into each one personally. So let's get into it. So technically my first Call of Duty game, my first one where I played multiplayer, because that's kind of the route we're going with this, was Modern Warfare 3. Me and my brother played Big Red 1 on PS2, I believe. But, we missed years of that. So, years in between Big Red 1 and Modern Warfare 3 in 2011. Modern Warfare 3 was my first, Call of Duty, and I got it the summer of 2012, ironically enough. But Black Ops 2, that was my first full Call of Duty game. And I feel almost blessed that a game that is considered top 3 by a large portion of the community was my first Call of Duty. You look back and everybody's going to have their arguments for COD 4, they're going to have their arguments for Modern Warfare 2, but for most people, Black Ops 2 falls in that top 3 to top 5. For me, it's definitely top 3. My list looks a little different than people, but a lot of my list is based off nostalgia and personal experience, much like everybody else's. But Black Ops 2 was my first full Call of Duty game. The first one I spent entire Saturdays playing, having friends over to split screen double XP weekend for what we called our no sleep till Prestige. Which, looking back on it, Cole, if you're listening, my boy, is a very torturous way for me to listen to the Beastie Boys playing over and over in my head. See, he would come over and we wouldn't, obviously, it's in the name, we wouldn't go to sleep until we hit Prestige. And I was not a stay up late person, I was a get up early person. I'd be up playing the game at 3 o'clock in the morning, but you wouldn't catch me on after 10:30 at night. But we did no sleep till Prestige, and there were times I went to bed at 2 in the morning, and just because I wanted to get to 3rd or 4th or 5th Prestige, whatever it was. A couple things I'm going to go over. Time on Black Ops 2. I have somewhere between 30 and 40 days played on Black Ops 2. I don't even know if that's a lot. I know it was a lot to me. And I started the game with under a 1 KD, progressed to be just under a 1.3 KD. And I also had a ton of other things happen during the course of Black Ops 2. In 2012, or 2013 technically, I started my first YouTube channel, which failed miserably, and then I started another one in Ghost, and that failed miserably. I didn't know what I was doing. I really wasn't trying all that hard. I tried to do tips and tricks videos because my favorite YouTuber was T Martin, favorite YouTuber of all time. I did get into the Only Use Me Blades and the X-Cals, and Onslaught was cool, though he didn't really last much longer past Black Ops 2 age, if I remember correctly. I really got into the Woody Gamer tags and the White Boy 7 streets, and X-Jaws was around a little bit in Black Ops 2. So I dove into these guys, but T Martin kind of stayed my favorite, and I learned a lot from him, and I got better at the game, what I thought was significantly better. Good enough to where I would think I could compete, which is what we're going to get into for the next part of it. So I've always been a competitive person. I always wanted to be the best I could possibly be, whether it was video games, diving into Call of Duty competitively, or it was basketball. I played basketball growing up, and I always wanted to be, I didn't want to play for a day and have a game where I didn't get picked up, so I was always trying to find the small things I could do on the court to where even if we lost and somebody had to leave, they'd be like, all right, T, get back on, because they needed the rebounding and the defense, the anchor in the paint, whatever it was. And same thing with Call of Duty, I wanted to compete. That's what I did. That's what I do. So I decided, me and my buddy decided we're going to do a game battles match. We got absolutely demolished. We didn't even play the rules. It was a competitive TDM match on, I can't remember the name of the map, but it's almost like a nightclub. I'm going to Google it real quick. It was a TDM match on Plaza, which wasn't even a competitive map at the time, and TDM definitely wasn't one of the competitive game modes at the time, but that kind of got me my first taste, and I got into it a lot more in Ghost, and we'll dive into that in a different video. But I got my first game battles match. A couple things that happened in the competitive Call of Duty world. Furico literally started in Black Ops 2 and ended in Black Ops 2, but they won the world championship. My favorite teams, were number 2 and 3 in Envious and Optic Gaming, like everybody else. And then my favorite player of all time was Big Timer. I liked how he was anything that you needed him to be, which is kind of how I approached, basketball and life. Whatever I needed to do to fit my goal. If I needed to be, for basketball reference, if I needed to be the leading rebounder, I was going to chase down every rebounder. If I needed to guard the best guy, I was going to do that. If I needed to knock down some shots, I did that. So I liked Big Timer being the moldable piece of the team. So that's why he was, my favorite player of all time, is my favorite player of all time. But like I said, this Black Ops 2 holds a lot of memories for me. First YouTube channels, first clans. We started a clan, Life is Gamers, Lag Clan. We thought we were clever. Dozens of videos out on that channel. I put out montages. I learned how to edit somewhat. Like the style of editing that's out now today is really fast paced and close to like brain rottish. I would classify it as, and I think that the older content is better. But I try to edit like that. I looked up to Pamaj for editing, obviously. One of the guys that's still around in the scene. But, I put out probably 6 or 7 Black Ops 2 sniping montages, or they had shotgun clips in them, or whatever I could get, 4 or 5 people in one clip would be kind of the goal. I feel like I've been rambling. This is the first video where I didn't script out a ton of it. I just kind of hit bullet points, so I apologize if I came off as rambling. But I do want to make this series, and we'll get better as we go. That's kind of the name of the game, right, is improving and figuring out where, how I want to do this moving forward. Because this style of commentary has been kind of buried for a very long time, and I haven't done it in years. So it's new to me, or not new to me, but it'll come back. But hopefully you guys enjoyed the video. Let me know what you thought about Black Ops 2. Even if this was a little bit rambly, I apologize. But yeah, like the video and subscribe. I'll see you guys next one. Peace out.